Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning if you're on the West Coast, or good evening if you're in Europe. I'm here with Marek Prokesh, the sales manager for the new or soon to open Almanac X Prague. So Marek, would you like to show us and tell us more about your upcoming hotel?
Hello, Dominique. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening for those of you in Europe, as Dominique said. By the way, thank you for the wonderful pronunciation of my last name, which is not the easiest. You've done a very good job.
Thank you.
I would like to talk a bit about the Almanac X, which we are about to open in Prague, hopefully still by the end of this year. And we've prepared, of course, a little presentation. Most of the photographs you will see are renderings, because we are just working on the property at the moment. And I hope you will enjoy it. We are here in case you should have any questions. And let me just share my screen for the presentation.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'm saying hello to everyone joining us, because I see more and more of you are coming as we speak. Now let's go to Prague. Let's go to Prague.
Let's go to Prague. Welcome to Prague, everyone. Beautiful sunny Prague, which you can see on my red face, because I don't tan well, so I usually just turn red, just like today. I believe you are very familiar with this view, all of you. Beautiful Prague Castle and the Charles Bridge. Our hotel is located in the very city center of Prague. As you can see here on the map, in the right bottom corner, you can see the A for Almanac X, which means that we are walking distance to all the major sites in the city. Of course, the famous Old Town Square is located about a 15-minute walk from us, then continuing with the Charles Bridge right in the middle, crossing the Vltava River. And up to the Prague Castle, we always like to recommend that you walk in the city, because it's a small city center, and you really get to feel the city. We were built already in the 1930s. So the property that we are now renovating was built as the Alcron Hotel, which really is an institution in the Czech Republic, very famous for our gastronomy and the guests that we've had over the decades. And already in the 1930s, this was the very, very center of Prague. So the original owner and builder of our building, Mr. Rooftop, did a wonderful job finding this site. And here we have a little overview of how close we are to everything. So of course, right next to us is the Wenceslav Square, just around the corner, literally, with the newly renovated National Museum on top. Then as number 8, you can see the Old Town Square. As I've mentioned, it's about 10 to 15 minute walk. It depends on how many times you stop to take pictures of the beautiful buildings. And as I mentioned even before, the Prague Castle is about half an hour. It is up the hill. So what I usually recommend is that you take a tram. Don't bother with taxi or with Uber or anything like that, because the public transport in Prague is crazy cheap. It's incredibly reliable. And it takes you all the way up to the castle, which means that then you slowly make your way down the hill. Makes it way easier than climbing up the hill, because as all the other castles, it's a pretty steep hill to keep it safe. So here, if you look at the distances, we are very, very central, to mention that once again. Why should you choose the Almanac X in Prague? As I saw already in the chat, as Dominic mentioned, you all know the Almanac in Barcelona, and it is a wonderful property and a great team as well. And we are very much looking forward to be joining the Almanac group as well. And as I've mentioned already, we have a very unique location in the city center, so everything is nearby to us. Also, I've already mentioned that we are a beautiful Art Deco historical building built in 1932. And a lot of the parts of our hotel will be preserved as they are original. For example, our main staircase, the grand staircase that goes all the way up the hotel, was built from the Italian Carrara marble. So we are definitely not touching that. And basically all the other marble parts in the lobby, the green and white marble, are all original from the 1930s. So all the famous guests that we've had over the decades, some of them, Maurice Chevalier, Ella Fitzgerald, Louis Armstrong, they all walked on these pieces of marble. So we are not touching that. And we are basically just changing the rooms, the concept, and of course the restaurant, making everything closer to the 21st century. But you can still feel the grandeur of the 30s anywhere in the hotel. One of the most exciting things, especially if you look at the Prague panorama, is a new rooftop bar and a restaurant that we are building on our roof. And we can't wait to have it because we have 8 floors. So this will be built on the 9th floor, and you will have unobstructed view of the city, including the Prague Castle, the Petrin Lookout Tower, which we call the Prague Eiffel Tower, much smaller but still beautiful. And so the rooftop bar and restaurant, I think, will be one of the best additions to the Almanac X, and we're very much looking forward to having it because, of course, we will serve our wonderful food there, drinks. But also we have a plan of doing, for example, morning yoga classes. And since it will be just glass covering it as the railing, you will be doing all the poses, looking at the Prague Castle, and the sun will be touching you. So I think this will be the best spot for yoga in the city. So for the health conscious guests, not for me because I can't do yoga. Good thing I'm sitting down so you can't see, but it's the Czech cuisine. We are very much looking forward to that. Of course, I would like to mention our Epicurean hospitality and also talk about our new culinary concept, because as I've mentioned, our hotel was always famous for our gastronomy. We've always had one of the best restaurants in the city. And especially for Czechs, whenever you celebrate anything, your birthdays or you finish college, you love to celebrate at our hotel. And we really want to continue with this concept. And I would like to talk a little bit about our new chef, because it is a wonderful story. His name is Lukáš Hlavaček, and he started at our hotel when he was 17 years old. And our chef back then, Roman Paulus, who is one of the best chefs in the country, saw his talent, and he told him, Lukáš, you are amazing. You go abroad and learn, because you will become incredible. So Lukáš packed his bags, and with, I don't know, 40 pounds, he went to London. He spoke maybe 10 words in English. And he got his first job at a small hotel. But later on, he joined the Ledbury, which is a 2 Michelin star restaurant in downtown London. And in 5 years, he did all the positions and he made it all the way to a sous chef, which he was 25 years old back then. It's a big success. And of course, he wanted to learn more. So he went to California and started working at the Meadowwood Park, which was a 3 Michelin star restaurant. And there he really learned to use everything, to work with the fresh produce, because the Meadowwood Park, they had their own farm. So they would go in the morning, pick all the produce, and then cook from that. And this is something that we want to do here at the Almanac as well. So we want to really do the nose to tail culinary experiences. And also we believe in not wasting anything. So for example, already now, since our kitchen is still open, Lukáš is using, for example, on our most expensive plate, which is a steak with a short rib, he would use the stem of broccoli. So something that most of the chefs would just throw out. He just does it in sous vide and puts it on our most expensive plate as the centerpiece. So we really believe in not wasting anything, because if you have a fresh produce, you can really use all of it. So that's the innovation that we are bringing to the local Czech cuisine, because Czech food tends to be very heavy, all the creams and dumplings. So we want to change it with the new concept and really reimagine the entire Czech cuisine. And with Lukáš, we believe that we can do this and make everything healthier and really more conscious. Also, one of the things that we are offering to our guests, and which are quite unique, are our private walking tours of Prague, because we have and we will have our dedicated guest relations staff. And at most of the hotels, the concierge help you, get a tour guide. But we like to do things differently and use our own staff, who are, of course, locals, all of us, and to show you really hidden gems of Prague. So you will still get to see the Charles Bridge, the Old Town Square, the Prague Castle. But then there are so many little places in the city that a lot of people never see, never discover, where we really like to take our guests. So you can truly enjoy the place as a local. And we also like to show you more of the local food, local drinks, and the entire culture. So this is something that that we offer to our guests as well. Now, I will tell you a bit more about the new concept. So I've already mentioned the location, that we are literally just steps away from all the major sites. Our hotel has and will have, even as the Almanac X, altogether 204 rooms divided on the 8 floors. We have 116 classic rooms, then about 40 deluxes, and then the rest are our suites, with the best being the Castle View suites on the 8th floor, from where you can, again, just as for Little Rooftop, see the entire city, the Prague Castle and everything. And then, of course, the creme de la creme being the presidential suites, which is also on the 8th floor. And from there, you can see not just the panorama of the castle, but also the National Museum, which is located behind our hotel, which is incredible golden cupola. And since we are just a few yards from there, you feel like you can touch the building, which is one of the historically most important buildings in the city. So once you enter the room, you're just in awe. And we love the location where we are. Also, you can see the approximate sizes of our rooms. The smallest one, which is about 23 square meters, is literally the smallest, and we only have 3 of them. So normally, unless we are completely full, we don't even like to sell them because most of the classics are about 30 square meters. In square feet, it would be 248. I don't know, 280 would be approximately 30 square feet. And then, of course, the suites are starting at 37 to 85 square meters, almost 400 square feet, up to 915 approximately. So very, very good sized rooms. And as I said, the smallest one, you won't probably even get it. And here we have a little overview of the gastronomy part of the city, of our hotel. So as I mentioned, we have a wonderful restaurant, the Alcron restaurant. Then, of course, a wonderful famous bar, the Alcron, where we serve our signature cocktails. They have a very fun way of serving. And the new addition will be, of course, the Rooftop bar. And as I mentioned, we will be offering the Czech cuisine reinvented. So don't expect the typical goulash with 6 dumplings, but you will really get something a little bit healthier. So more modern produce and driven approach. And of course, together with it, wonderful Czech beverages, not just the beer, but there will be some surprises as well. And for some guests, we also have wonderful event facilities, 10 conference rooms altogether, especially for FITs. It can be great for weddings. We have great experience catering to weddings, birthday parties, really anything you can come up with. We've turned them into a private casino for one guest. Anything you can imagine, we can do it. The main conference room being the Crystal Ballroom, which has a daylight because it's covered with a beautiful crystal cupola. So for a wedding, wonderful venue. So if anybody wants to say their yes is at our hotel, we will happily cater to that as well. Now, let's start at the bottom of the hotel, which of course is the lobby where all the guests meet. So this is the first part that you see upon entering. And already here you can see all the original parts, being the marble I've mentioned, but also the lightning fixture above the main entrance, which dates back to 1932 and the opening of the hotel back then. But with that, the lobby will be quite modern when it comes to the furniture, to the design, to the paintings. Most of the design and chairs and all the other furniture and so is made locally, because we really believe in supporting local businesses as well. So not just the fresh produce, something that our chef cooks with, but also the designers, the furniture makers are in 90% locals. So we can really support the local community as well. And once again, this is the view from our restaurant. Everything, speaking of the marble, etc., original from the 30s. Now, let me show you a little bit of the Alcaron restaurant. It is once again in the original setting. So there is a beautiful, beautiful round part in the back. And on the left-hand side, you can notice the bar made of white marble, which will lead into the open concept kitchen. So everything that our chefs will prepare for you, you can literally see it being made. And again, we are using white Carrara marble to build even this new addition to the restaurant. And here you can see it in more detail with some wonderful Czech local charcuterie in the back. So this will be one of the hotspots of the restaurant. Then on this slide, you can see a private dining room, which was originally our Alcaron restaurant, the original one, where we had only 7 tables, and we've had one Michelin star for 5 years in a row, which is the longest time in the Czech Republic, in the history of the Czech Republic. And so now we will be using this as a private dining room alongside the main restaurant. So should you be with your family, you want some private dining experience, we will happily seat you in the original Alcaron restaurant. Once again, behind the table, you can see there's a fireplace. Again, original from the 1930s, because we are very proud of the history. So we are also keeping that and not touching this part of the hotel. And now to the creme de la creme I was talking about, the rooftop, with a little bit of the Prague castle behind it. So as you can see, one part, about 2/3 of the rooftop will be covered. So it will serve as an all year long restaurant. So no matter the weather, and winters can be quite harsh in Prague, you can still enjoy the view. And but now from, let's say, May, if I look outside, there is still sunshine. You can also sit in the outdoor part of the city, which closer to where this was made from, this photograph. There will be also space, for example, for yoga, dancing, anything you can imagine. And then here you can see better the view itself from the rooftop restaurant. It will sit about 60 guests. So since we have 204 rooms, there should really be enough space for the guests, but also the hotel guests, but also locals as well, because we really want people to mingle, being in locals and the hotel guests all together, because we really feel that it leads to enrichment of everybody. Because if you meet a local, you can get some other tips about the city as well, and have a little chit chat, and not just be with other guests in our hotel. Then another addition, which will be part of the new concept, will be our coffee shop, which right now is just a conference room, but we figured there is this beautiful space looking onto the street, and we are not using it. We are using it, for some renting it to a company once a week. So we decided to turn it into a coffee shop with local roasted coffee. And once again, our chefs will be able to showcase what they can do with a really health-conscious foods. So you'll be able to get some smoothie bowl, things like that, to really start up your day. People watching, people on the streets, because we are one of the main roads by the Wenceslas Square, so a lot of people walk into their offices, etc. Yet it's still quite a quiet street. So don't worry about being disturbed until the late hours each day. And now to show you what the rooms will look like. So as I've mentioned, we are still keeping certain Art Deco details, but as you can see, the room will be beautiful, airy, and modern. We are using new wonderful oak floors, and it'll be just very inviting. I would love to hear later also your feedback on how you like the room, because we are very excited about it. And for example, the lamps will be really connecting us to the history of the hotel as well. Here you can see one of the bathrooms, again using marble, and here will be the best of the best in the hotel, the presidential suite, which will also have its own kitchen. So for some guests, we can even cook for you right in the room, which some of the guests will happily use. It also has a very large seating area. And then on the other side of the room, you also have the bedroom. And as you can see, you can have up to 80 of your friends and have a private dinner, so you don't need to use the restaurant at all. And just to show you the crystal ballroom, because it really is quite unique with the glass cupola. This is where we do most of our events if it's not in the restaurant, or in the future on the rooftop. So for any functions, we can do private dining there as well. For some groups, we even do private breakfast. If you have a larger group and you don't want them to mingle, you want them to have some privacy for breakfast, for example, we can also cater to them here in the Crystal Ballroom, which is located on the second floor, right above the restaurant. And it has its own kitchen as well. So should you have any guest that has very specific needs when it comes to catering to their food, we can prepare it also extra in the kitchen of its own. And this would be for the presentation. As I said, we are now working just with some renderings because the works are still in progress. We have now 3 floors being built, and these rooms should be available already around the summer, and we will start with the other half of the hotel. But we've already prepared, of course, Dominic knows about it, a little offer, because we should be open already before Christmas of this year. So you can also talk to Dominic about this special Christmas at the Almanac X Prague offer. And as you can see, there is a 15% commission on that room rate. Of course, breakfast for 2 included, free upgrade to a higher category, subject to availability, of course, but we always happily do it. We want our guests to be happy. So whenever we can, we love to upgrade them. The same comes for early check-in and late checkout. Of course, we offer a welcome drink. Hopefully it should be already on the terrace. We are very much looking forward to inviting the guests after arrival up to the terrace, talking to them, having a chat with them, looking at the Prague Castle, discussing what they want to do. And of course, certain welcome amenities in the room. And since it will be a Christmas promotion, we've also prepared a little list. Why should you come to Prague during Christmas? The weather is not the greatest, it's cold, but Prague offers amazing opportunities for you, such as open air ice skating. There are several ice skating rinks located just around our hotel. So you can look up to the Prague Castle while you're skating with your kids. Then we have a thing called mingling with devils and angels, because it's a very Czech tradition, not recommended for the smallest kids, because I remember being very scared because all the men in the country dress up as scary devils on the 6th of December. And we then have to say a poem, and then hopefully we will get some sweets. But let me tell you, it leaves scars on us children, but it's a great experience. Of course, wonderful thing that you can only experience in the wintertime is meeting a real lamplighter, because Prague started putting back gas lamps on the streets leading from the Old Town Square across the Charles Bridge up to the Prague Castle. You can see this gentleman with a very tall pole, and he's lighting up the gas lamps with fire at the end of the pole. And it's so beautiful. You really feel like being transported to the 19th century. Of course, the Christmas markets, which I would say are among the best in Europe, because Prague is still quite a small city, so it feels very local. The best one, of course, being at the Old Town Square. But one of the Christmas markets is right by our hotel at the Wenceslav Square, so 1 minute away. So in 1 minute, you can sip on the mulled wine and eat the trdelník, a famous Czech old pastry. And also what I would like to recommend, because I love culture, and Prague has so many different theaters, wonderful opera house. You can see the Nutcracker, which is always played around the Christmas time. So you can see that at the National Theater, and then the Estates Theater, where Mozart introduced his opera Don Giovanni. And of course, there are many other events. So please feel free to use this offer, because we would love to see you and your guests. And I'm sure you can talk more to Dominic about that. And for any questions, please, I'm here for you.
Thank you very much, Marek, for this beautiful presentation. I know you didn't have much picture yet, but at least it's nice. I think next time we would love to have a picture of the chef. I think that would be nice.
100%, because Lukáš, he just made the Forbes magazine 30 under 30 list, which is very prestigious. It's the 30 most influential people younger than 30 years old. And but he's so humble and he doesn't like his picture being taken. And I was trying to, of course, we have some, but he said, no, don't show me. But
so then,
I will convince him. I will convince him.
Respect. Huh? So I see, Céline, you said, what is your hotel tax in general per day, per adult? And do you provide water in the room daily?
Yes. Yes, of course. We provide water. We provide free coffee, free tea making facilities, free still and sparkling water. And as for the hotel rates, we are still working on them prior to the opening. But we could update the prices perhaps a little bit later.
All right. Céline was just asking for the tax.
Oh, what for the tax? On accommodation, there is a 10% tax.
10%.
And plus there is the city tax, which is which we have to pay, to the city, and that is 50 crowns, which is roughly $2.
$2. Okay. Not
so that's the city tax, and then there is a 10% tax on accommodation in the Czech Republic.
Right. We have another question for the coffee. Is it Czech coffee or imported coffee?
That's a very good question, because especially for the coffee shop we are about to open, we are using a local roasters, because right now it's a big thing in the Czech Republic, and there's a lot of new cafes popping up each month. I would say there's a big coffee culture in the Czech Republic in general, way more than drinking tea. So we are now deciding between two local roasters, and so it will be local as well.
Local coffee, yeah.
Oops, sorry. Excuse me, but just for the rooms, there we are still deciding, because we have an offer from a local roastery, but it will be the Nespresso machines. But for the coffee that we want to use for it, we are talking with 3 suppliers, and I don't want to say who they will be, but one of them is local as well, even for the rooms. So there is a high chance that even in the room you will get a Nespresso capsule, but with a local coffee.
Wow, that would be great, huh? Access to public transportation, you said it was nearby, huh?
Thank you for asking this, because as I said, I'm a sales manager now, but for years I was the director of guest relations at our hotel. And I've always loved to recommend take the local transport. And even if you come to the airport, you can just hop on a bus, number 119, that takes you to the metro station. And then in 15 minutes, you are by our hotel. Because right next to us at the Wenceslas Square, there is the hub of the metro. So we have all 3 lines. In Prague, we have the yellow line, the green line, and the red line. And all the 3 lines, they have their stop 3 minutes from the hotel. So it is so convenient. Also, 1 block below the hotel, there is all the main tram lines. So if you want to go up, for example, up to the Prague Castle, just hop on a tram. The ticket costs 30 Czech crowns, which is $1.30, something like that. It is so cheap, and it's valid for half an hour, which is enough to take you up to the Prague Castle. And so it's just 1 block below the hotel, which makes it again 3 minutes to catch the tram. So we are really very central, right next to the metro hubs, to all the main stations, and the tram as well.
It's unusual, huh, to have your background as a sales manager, so that must be very useful, huh?
It is.
You sell more than the hotel. You can sell the destination and the...
You see, this is why we love to also do the private guided tours, and so with our staff, because you really get to know our guests, and you don't just give them to some tour guide who you don't know how good he is sometimes, what he will show. But like this, we can really show you the local experience that we are all about. So it's in our hearts, this kind of hospitality.
We have a question from Janice and Michael. They want to know what is the cost of the hotel private guides by the hour?
It is by the hour. We, up until before Corona started, we were also doing 1 free guided tour, which was about 3 hours. And it was free for whoever signed up. But of course, we had to stop with Corona because we had less staff. But we would still like to do this 1 general 3-hour one, complimentary. And then, of course, it's by an hour. Usually the prices run about, well, let me just switch from euro to dollars. I would say about $18, but from certain number of people, it's included. So if you have a big group, it's not like you pay 40 times about $18, but then it's discounts. And so but it's around this.
Sorry. I have a question now for the room from Ducky. What kind of room category you were showing on the screen? You know, the first one.
The first one was the classic room. Mm-hmm. So we have 116 of those, and that's the most typical one. And then after the classic, I was showing the presidential suite, the one of one.
Hello. And also, what are the family rooms or connecting room?
Mm-hmm. We do have family rooms as well. And as you also mentioned, they are the connecting rooms. So we have several options. We have altogether 10 family rooms, which are classic and classic. So you can interconnect them in between with the sun. Normally there is a soundproof door, but we can open that up with this door. So it will be always ideal for 4 people, but we can also do a baby cot, things like that. But we also have 6 combinations of the classic and the deluxe room as well. So for example, for the parents, if they want to keep the deluxe, which usually when the kids see the bigger room with a sofa and so, they like to steal it from the parents. So then the parents end up with the classic, but we have 6 combinations like this as well. So we can offer also the family rooms, the interconnected ones.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I do not see any more questions, so I don't know if there is anyone else who has something. Marek, do you have anything we can conclude our webinar? Sorry, mm-hmm. I'm losing my voice.
Yeah, no problem at all, Dominique.
I was at ILTM last week and I think I spoke too much.
Yeah, it so happens. It's no problem at all. Well, I'm just very happy for this opportunity because it's, first of all, thank you very much for your time because we only have the renderings for now, but we're very much looking forward to welcoming here everyone. And as I said, you know the property in Barcelona, and we can't offer you that great weather, but other than that, everything you know from Barcelona, we will have here as well, including the incredible rooftop terrace. And we are so looking forward to working with you because especially after 2 years of COVID, we can't wait to have everybody back. And it's really exciting. And hopefully by the end of this year, we will have the doors open with the new concept, with the new product.
Thank you, Marek. I see one more question about the social wellness services in Prague.
Mm-hmm. Yes, well, in our hotel, we have a wellness center. It's not the biggest one, but we have 2 separate saunas, which would make it one female, one male one. We also have a wonderful fitness center, which we are actually doubling the size of the fitness compared to the old concept. So it will be beautiful, high-tech new fitness. And we also offer massages, from the sport massages to Thai massages. And we have our own masseuses for that. So they're available anytime. Normally, the opening hours are from 9 until 9 p.m., 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And it's a beautiful experience. It's a beautiful, beautiful room with this Thai decor. And I can highly recommend it as well. So after a long flight, we will take care of you.
Okay, that sounds promising. Huh? Can't wait to be back and to see. I just at least tried the lovely food last time I was there in December. And next time I come, actually, the hotel will be ready as an Almanac X. Thank you very much, Marek, for joining us. So have a good
Thank you very much, Dominique. Thank you, everybody, for having me. And I'm really looking forward.
Okay, and thank you, everyone, for joining us. And see you tomorrow for more webinar. Huh? Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.